find missing values in a data frame and how to replace those values, those NA values, with a reasonable number. So for that, I am using a package which is called as Vim. So I'll say library VIM. So if you don't have this package, you will have to install it first. Go to package, install, or you can give the command as install.packages. Within the bracket, you will give the package name, that is Vim. Now I have already installed this package, so I'll just load it using library function. Now the next thing I'll do is there is a data set present in this package which is called as sleep. So actually I want to use this data set sleep. So I'll say data and the package name, the data set name is sleep. I'll just execute it. Let's check what is this sleep data set is. So I'll just question mark sleep and it will provide you help here in the help section. So I want this mammal sleep data which is present in the package Vim. I'll just click on it. So it is a data set which contains 62 observations for 10 variables. Now, what are these variables? It contains body weight, brain weight, non-dreamers, dreamers, what is the timing of their dream sleep, like what is the span of their life, what is their gestation period. All these variables are taken and to analyze the sleep patterns of mammal. Let's see first 6 rows of this sleep data. So I'll say head sleep and I'll execute it. So this is the data. This is how it looks. You can see there are some NA values present in it and there are a lot more in this data. So how do we check how many NAs or what is the actual summary of this data? We can say summary and you will give the name of the data set. So you can see, so there are 4 NA values present in this sleep data, in this sleep column. So it is giving you all column wise summary of this data set. So in the body weight of mammal, you will see there is minimum this much weight, maximum weight, median, and the first quartile and third quartile. Then there is brain weight. Now, when we go to non-dreaming column, you will see there are 4 NA values present in it. Similarly, for dream as well, there are some NA values present. So it will give you the counts depending upon each column, how many missing numbers are there. So we want to replace it. Otherwise, when you analyze this data, what will happen? It will not give you accurate results. So let's understand how we can do it in a data set, like in a data frame. Now let's say first we want to check all those rows where all the rows are complete. So there is a function called as complete cases and you will give the name of data set. It will help you to get all the complete rows. So wherever there is a complete row, you can see the second row is complete. So total there are 62 rows, out of which the second is true. So wherever it is written as true, it says that those rows are complete. There are no NA values. Wherever there is false, it will give you, it will tell you that there is a missing number. Now, how do we get the number of this? How do we get the number of these complete cases? For that, what we will do is, so we can use sum complete cases and in the bracket you will give the dataset name and I'll execute this command. So there are 42 rows that are complete without any missing values. And if you want to sum up all those rows where there is a missing value, you will say sum, then you will give an exclamation mark complete dot cases and within the bracket you can say sleep. So you will see there are 20 rows which contains NA values. Now this is for the rows. If you want to calculate it row wise, column wise, what you can do is you can say call sum sleep. So you can see these columns are complete which are giving you the values, but there are these 5 columns which contains NA value in it. Let's see how many NAs are present in this columns. So you can do call sums. Then in the bracket you will say is dot NA sleep. So you see there is no NA value present in these first 2 columns. Then there are 14 NA numbers in this non-dream. Then in dream there is 12 NA numbers, 4 in sleep, 4 in span, and 4 in gestation period. Now what we want to do is let's start with, let's say, dream. We want to replace all these 12 NA numbers with the mean value of this column. So how can we do that? So we have already understood how to impute any arithmetic value inside these NA values. So we will say, let's print dream column. So we will try to, let's make a copy of this data set. Let's say df equal to sleep. Now I will be using df to do all my changes in this data set. So let's print df the dream column. So df bracket. So we want to print the dream column. So we will say df. I'll use square bracket notation, and because it's a column, so I'll use it after the comma. I'll say dream, and I'll print it. So we have to give apostrophes. Yeah. So all these values present here, you can see there are a lot of missing values present in this data. Now we will replace all these values with the mean of this column. So how do we do that? df. Let's first calculate the mean of this column. So mean, then inside the bracket, I will use the column for which I want to calculate mean. So my column is df. I'll say df $dream to be particular which column I am using. Then I'll remove all the NA values. So NA.rm equal to true. Let's execute it. So the mean value of this column is 1.972. So I want to impute this value in all these NA values present in this column. So df square bracket notation, and I'll say dream. So it is in the column and all the positions that we want to replace it in. So is.na. So is.na, and inside the bracket you will give the column name. So df $dream, and because it's a column, so I'll specify which column it is. Inside quotes I'll say dream equal to, so we will equate this mean value in this all in the NA values. So I'll say mean df $dream, comma NA.rm equal to true. I'll execute it. Let's print this column df $dream. So if you see all the NA values, they have been imputed with the mean value of that column. Similarly, you can do it for all the columns. Let's print the head. Let's say summary of this df. So you will see there were earlier 12 numbers of NA values present in dream. Now there is no NA value present in this column. Now let's understand some more packages that we can use so that we can replace all the NA values at the package. Now the package that I am using for imputing reasonable numbers to our data set instead of NA values, it is impute ts. So this package, if you don't have it, you will have to install it using package, either going to package or using install.package command, and load it using library function. Now how to replace all those values that are NA in this data? So we have already copied the sleep data into a new variable called as df. It contains all the values present in sleep. It's a copy, but it is already containing, let's do one thing. Now let's make another copy of the sleep data set, and then we will try to remove all the NA values. So df equal to sleep. Now it contains NA values in it. So how to calculate it? Call sums. Then I will give the df is dot NA df and close the bracket. So you will see there are 14 NA values in non-dreamers, then 12 in dreams, 4 in sleep span and gestation period. Now we want to replace all these NA values at once using this package impute ts. How to do that is, there is a, let's say we want to replace all these using mean. Now there are some functions that you can use in this library. Let's go through it. So what we can do is, let's create a different data frame. Let's say df1 equal to, now there is a function in this library called as na underscore mean. Now what it will do, it will remove all the NAs, calculate the mean. Inside the bracket, I'll provide the name of the dataset that I am using. So the dataset that I am using here is df. I'll put a comma, and the next thing I have to provide is an option. Option is what value you want to impute in these NA values. Now it can be mean, it can be median. Let's say we want to do it using mean, and I'll press enter. Now let's see this dataset df1. Now how to calculate? Let's directly see the column sum of this df1 dataset. So using is.na df1, and I'll close the brackets and I'll execute this. So you will see all the values have been imputed with that column, mean of that column. Like, let's see how, let's print head df1. So you will see there is 1.972, which was earlier. If you remember, we have also imputed the same in the dream column as well. So this is how you can check, you can impute all the NA values at once using this package impute ts. Now in not only mean, there are some other options that you can use here. So how can we do that? You can just do question mark NA underscore mean, and if you will execute this, it will provide you help here. So in this option, there is, you can use mean values, you can use median values, you can use mode, you can use harmonic mean, you can use geometric mean. So instead of this mean, you can just give median values. Let's try to do that as well. So df2, let's create another data frame, and I'll say na underscore mean. So data set that I'm using again is df, and the option now I am using is median. And I'll press enter, and let's print column sum header df2. Let's see. So you will see it has been changed to the median value. This is how you can use this package. Now let's go to another package that we can use. It is called as gtool. So I'll just put a hash. I'll say gtool package. Now let's load this library. So you will say library. If you don't have this package, you will have to install it. And the name of the package is gtools. Now there is a option here. There is a function which is called as na.replace, which we will be using to replace all the NA values present in a column of this data set. So the data set that I'm using is df, head df, to check the first 6 rows of this data set. So there are NA values present here. Now what we will do, let's calculate again the column wise sum of NAs. So is.na df. So you will see the number of missing values here. Now what we will do, we will use na.replace. So I'll say na. Let's say we want to replace this values in the dream column. So NA dot replace. Then I'll open the bracket. I will provide the data frame name along with the column name. So I'll say dream. Then I'll put a comma. Then you have to give, the next thing is the function that you want to perform. What value you want to impute. Let's say I want to impute mean value. Then I'll say NA.rm equal to true. So it will remove all the NA values, will calculate the mean and replace all those NAs with that mean value. Let's see. So if you check, all those NA values have been replaced in this column. Similarly, we can use other arithmetic functions as well. Let's say NA.replace df dollar. And let's say another column which contains 4 missing values. So I want to replace those values with the minimum number of that column. So I'll say NA.rm equal to true. It will replace all those NA values wherever present with the minimum number of that column. So it is 2.1. So if you want to check what is the minimum value of that column, you will just have to say minimum df dollar on d. Then you will say NA.rm equal to 2. So it's 2.1. So all those values NA values have been replaced with 2.1 in this column. Similarly, we can use it for any functions or even for a fixed number. Let's say NA.replace df dollar dream. And I want to replace all the values with 50. So it will replace all the NA values with 50 at all those positions. So I hope you will be able to replace your NA numbers in your data set easily.